Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So I found this clip with Miss Sarah Fontenot, and I agree with what she's saying here. And then we're going to basically discuss this. So here is well, it's not a full clip, right? But it's a clip of where she was speaking to some gentlemen on the Baller Alert show. All right.
In the life for saying this, I feel like a lot of women have forgotten their place. And we live in this inverted world, and I feel we got stuck in this whole feminism thing. Feminism is a scam. And now it's like trying to undo. It is feminism. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, we are equal in value, but we are not equal in traits. We are different. Men and women are different.
I agree with that.
And I'm so sick and tired of why are we fighting to be something that we're not? I am not a man. I will never be a man. And for those of you that make that decision, I love that for you. Period. But there are certain things that are just, y'all are stronger than we are. We are more detail oriented than you are. There are certain traits that we naturally got from God based on the gender that we are. And it's all based on survival. It's all based on human nature. And so I feel like a lot of women, not all women, but most women have forgotten their place.
Within themselves, within
the order of family, within the order, even like with God, if you just want to start blanketing statements, like, now this is the thing. If you are a masculine woman, that's fine, but stop acting like you're feminine. If you want to be a boss babe, I don't need no man. You go do you, boo, but stop teaching that that's the answer, because I'm sick and tired of this divide of the family. I'm sick and tired of now good men, I'm listening to like stories, right? Good men are getting lazy in dating. They're getting lazy in the pursuit because women are making either everything too easy or they're too hands off. So now what's the point in even trying to date a woman when you're the man that you want me to be? Honestly, and I'm probably going to get eaten alive for saying this, I feel like
aside from me generally agreeing with the sentiments that she's expressing, which I agree with, feminism is a scam and women have forgotten their place because of it. One thing that caught my ear and eye in this clip was when she said women have forgotten their place. And the guy said within themselves. And I'm glad that Miss Sarah corrected that. Within themselves, yeah, but with family, in the structure of the family, the structure of community, and with God. Like, the women don't know their places. Okay? In any facet at this point. They don't understand what they're supposed to be doing. This is what women don't know their place really means. You don't know who you're supposed to be and thus what you're supposed to be doing in regards to that. If you don't know who you are, and what your purpose is, then you don't know how to implement your purpose, and you don't know what to do because you don't know your purpose. Or you've purposely disregarded what it was, because this is why those two statements go together. Feminism is a scam and women don't know their place, because feminism got women out of their place. Okay? It got women out of their place. And the propaganda was extremely strong. And I'm saying this because years ago, I used to think that good women didn't speak up enough in real time when this stuff was going down. And as the years have gone on, I have seen more evidence, clips, old clips of lionesses actively speaking out, white ones, black ones, actively speaking out and saying, no, we don't want this. We don't like this. this whole feminism, women's liberation movement thing y'all got going on. Like, this is stupid. And the women were expressing why they didn't want it. And basically saying, you're going to be making us do two jobs. You're putting us in position as women to do so-called do the man's job, but then also do the woman's job, because he not going to do the woman's job. So all of that stuff that you quote unquote trying to save me from still going to fall on me. It's just that I'm going to have extra added pressure that I'm putting on myself, basically, from this movement. Y'all are trying, like, we're okay with going to earn things and stuff like that. Like, that's fine. But y'all are taking it several steps further than that by trying to make it to be where we got to be like the men. And we don't want to be like the men. We don't want to not have our families. We don't want to separate from our husbands. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. I've seen clips of Fannie Lou Hamer saying it. I've seen clips of Black women saying it, Black women who were not popular or famous, but they had a platform. Somebody stuck a microphone in their face and the discussion was feminism. And they was like, no. And this is like in the 80s. This is like in the 70s. No, we don't want that. But they were outnumbered. And the propaganda machine was bigger than them. And so since the propaganda machine was bigger than them, and it was easier to silence those women and just push the agenda anyway, and then you had enough women going along with it, despite what the other women were talking about. So now here you have, it snowballed all the way to where it is today, and women are still blinded. Purposely so at this point, because you still have women talking about what kind of man they don't need and this and that. And even though I can see a shift, it's not a good shift. I'm seeing a shift of women. They're not so much saying they don't need men so much, but they are. The reason I'm saying it's not a good shift is because it's not coming from an altruistic place. It's not coming from a genuine place. It's coming from, we kind of need men to help us survive, but they're still not willing to be wives in order to receive that. And that's why I'm saying it's not a good shift. And it's not, because it's not a good shift, it's not a real one. It's not a real shift. Women are just paying lip service to certain things at this point, while still in their heart believing that men are in relationships specifically to serve them, and they don't have to do anything, and they don't have to reciprocate, and they don't have to be anything in these relationships, what have you, and all of these warped viewpoints about what relationships are and how you're supposed to show up in them as a woman, basically without any responsibility. And so feminism successfully took a bulk of women out of their spaces, right out of their space, they condom right out of their space, and said, you can be like the men. No, you cannot. And women take that so personally. Women take that so personally. Like, when we say you aren't a man and can't be a man, that's just a statement of fact. That's not a statement about your value as a woman. That doesn't say anything about your value as a woman. And she opened up her statement with that. We both have value, but we are not the same. And that's where women lose the plot. And that is why you can understand how feminism was so devastating, because it basically was telling women that if you can't do what men do to the capacity that men can do it, you're a failure as a woman. And that could not have been further from the truth. Why would that be true? Why would it be true that if I can't do everything that a man can do to the specific capacity that he do it, and exactly how he do it, and even maybe surpass him, then that makes me a failure as a woman. How? How? That's just as silly as saying, well, men, you can't have babies. So that means that you're a failure as a man. Why would that mean that? At what point does that mean that? Well, how does that even make any sense? So he fails at being a man because he can't do what a woman can do? Nobody says that. But feminism told women that your womanhood, mind you, your womanhood and the quality of it and the value of it is predicated on how much you can do that men do within their masculinity and their manhood. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. You know, it doesn't make sense. When me and my husband go to the gym, he can squat more than me. He can lift more than me. He can bench press more than me easily. It's not even a conversation. It's not even a conversation. I don't even have to count what he's doing. I just know it's exponentially more than what I can do. But that don't mean that the weights that I lift is just nothing. It would be nothing to him. For me, it's just fine. It make me strong. You know what I'm saying? Like, I be keeping in shape with it. You understand what I'm saying? Just because I can't do what he can do to the capacity that he can do it, why does that devalue what I can do? Why? Why would that devalue that? What does it have to do with it? As a matter of fact, one doesn't have anything to do with the other. And because feminism taught women to measure themselves up with the same measuring stick that men measure themselves, this is where you get all that masculine energy and, you know what I'm saying, women talking about their accomplishments and this, that, and the third, because these are the things that men talk about when they talk about how successful they are or are not. They talk about their, they talk about their accolades. They talk about their education, or they talk about their profession, or they talk about their money, or they talk about what kind of skill set that they have and things of that nature. This is the measuring stick of men, though. Men measure themselves upon that. Women are not supposed to measure ourselves with that because we're going to always fail. Even if we can excel in one or two of the areas, it still doesn't mean a whole lot. Like, it's okay, but why would we use the measuring stick of men to measure our womanhood? That don't make sense. And because it's been going on so long, women don't even understand the measurement of femininity. And when you try to tell them about measuring their femininity, they poo-poo it away. Oh, you just, you know what I'm saying, hung up on this and hung up on that. Yeah, well, ma'am, you don't know how to be a woman. Which is to her point. Women forgot their place. Women don't know what women are supposed to be doing. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, Sister Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.